I'm Heather.
I'm Nate.
And this is Lacey. We're going to the LA Times Festival of Books. One of the authors speaking is Stacey Abrams. She's so awesome. We thought we'd share a little bit with you.
Welcome back to the Los Angeles Times main stage. I hope you're having a great time here at the LA Times Festival of Books. Thank you. My name is Stuart K. Robbins, and I am the host here at the main stage, and I assume you know you are here for a very special event. We're pretty thrilled to have this next author come to the stage. She is the first black woman to earn a major party nomination for governor in the United States. And these few notes they've given me don't do justice to the things this woman has contributed to our nation. She is a politician, a lawyer, a voting rights activist, an author, and now the inaugural Ronald W. Walters Endowed Chair for Race and Black Politics at Howard University. I will tell you that those of you who don't know about her fiction writing, her book While Justice Sleeps sits on a very special shelf behind my desk in my office. If you haven't read that one, you need to read it. But she's here today to talk about her newest publication, which is an NAACP award-winning, Image Award-winning children's book, and it is titled Stacey's Remarkable Books. We've got to give a really appropriate welcome to the one and only Miss Stacey Abrams.
So I want to start by acknowledging my youngest brother, Walter. Walter, stand up, wave your hand. So Walter and I are two of 6 children. My mom, for most of my growing up years, was a librarian. She was a reference librarian with, yes, in libraries. And so when I was growing up, I literally would sleep in the stacks. I was in daycare on the campus, and daycare ended before my mom's job did, and so we would sleep in the stack. So I would sleep surrounded by books. My dad was a shipyard worker, and he was usually gone first thing in the morning before anyone was awake. And so throughout the week, my mom would read to us, and then my dad would tell us these fantastic stories on Friday nights. And it was like a very G-rated version of Game of Thrones, because he would have to remember the story he told the week before, and he'd have to tell a part of the story to appease all 6 of his children, who all had special things we wanted in the story, and it got very convoluted, and by the 7th season it wasn't really worth anything. But because of that, I grew up with this deep love, not only of reading, but of storytelling. And I came about it because my mom would read us these amazing books, and my father would tell these extraordinary stories. And for me, writing children's books was the last version of writing I thought I would get into. But it is extraordinarily exciting to me because it gives me the chance to not only tell stories to the Stacey I was, it gives me a chance to re-examine who I was and think about how it made me who I am. We boat lift in the 1970s, but we're a very inventive name. We're a port on the Gulf of Mexico, thus we are Gulfport. And in the 1970s, a number of Vietnamese families were resettled in Gulfport and Biloxi and along the coast. And Julie her name was Haddo, her American name was Julie. She was one of the children who came to the US. I was born in '73, and so I was in 2nd grade. I just skipped a grade, and so I was already awkward because I was around kids who I didn't know, who weren't my original class. You can read about that in my first book, Stacey's Extraordinary Words. But in Stacey's Remarkable Books, I'm in 2nd grade, and there's this girl.
Okay, hi, my name's Ari. I wanted to ask if you've ever limited yourself or your potential from a fear of the stress of greatness.
Ari, that is an amazing question. It may be the title of a book, so there we go. No, I will say yes, one time. And I wouldn't say it was fear of greatness. It was fear. So no, I haven't, because I was fearing greatness. But it has been because of fear. When I finished, I applied for a fellowship when I was in college and didn't get it. And I became convinced that I was smart for where I was, but not smart enough for the world. And so even though I'd been invited to grad schools and law schools, I turned down a lot of opportunities because I didn't think I was capable. And then a friend of mine says, he pulled me aside and he said, if you're doing this because you didn't get this scholarship, I'm going to be really disappointed in you. He said, you are capable of more and you should challenge yourself. And I was like, nobody asked your opinion, but I listened to him and I tried for something I didn't think I would get. But I think what underlies your question is this. We are often bound by our own assumptions of our limitations. We don't need other people to tell us. We tell ourselves no all the time. But Walter and I grew up with a father who said, don't tell yourself no, let everybody else do it. Don't tell yourself no. And for most of my life, with those notable exceptions, I haven't limited myself because my belief is that I'd rather try and fail than bemoan the fact that I never tried. Because the worst thing that happens if you try and don't get it is you now know what to do next time, what not to do next time, or that you never cared in the first place, so you might as well go and find something else to do. But this notion that we aren't worthy of the attempt is what I've always rejected. It's my job to figure out what I can and cannot do. And it is my job to explore the reaches of my capacity. I'm not going to let anybody else tell me no. I think I saw this on Let's Make a Deal.
Yes, exactly. Do you want the curtain or do you want the box? All right, tell us your name and your question.
I'm Dr. Melinda Hurley, and my question is, what advice would you give to teachers who are having to deal with the banned books issue?
Thank you. Dr. Hurley, Melinda, first of all, keep pushing. Know that there are more of us who believe in the beauty and power of the written word than there are those who are afraid of it. Number two, don't lose your job because of this, but know that you can build community because of this. I know teachers are always, you're trying to do so much for so many so often. And so I would say to everyone else, we need to be stepping up for those teachers. Teachers should not be responsible for fighting this fight alone. It's our job to lift up that banner, to tell you thank you for what you do, to pay you enough that you can afford to do it, but also to celebrate the books. And if they ban a book in school, find the book and bring it outside. Make sure, I mean, we are doing our best to share my books with as many students as I can. I don't make that much from them, so I can't give it to every child. But if there's a book you love, if there's a story that needs to be told, you guys appreciate the utility and the importance of storytelling. Let's support these teachers and these children by making sure that no matter where they turn, we are there to lift them up and encourage them to read the stories that can change their lives.
Thank you so much.
I just love her.
And so does everybody else. This line to get her autograph got really long.
But Nate and Lacey got in line early and held our place. Oh my gosh, she was so nice. She's written so many books and she signed them all. There was such a big line and I can't believe she took the time.
Lacey made sure to get her chance too, and we snatched up every book that Stacey wrote.
Thanks for going with us to see Stacey Abrams. Lacey says don't forget to pick up all her books. They're awesome.